Okay, we're just allowing people a couple of minutes to join in. Very good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, Ms. Sulagna, please confirm if you're good to begin or if you're expecting more people to join in.
I think we can start.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
As and when people join in, we'll tell them to watch the live on YouTube if in case they miss out on anything.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so with that, let's get started. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. Yes. Yes, sir, were you saying something? Okay. So we'll begin the session in the interest of everyone's time. So welcome everyone. This is an Inforshare today for the Artificial Intelligence Internship Program at Clevered. I am Smita. I am the Senior Academic Advisor and I head the academics at Clevered. And I've been in the software industry for almost around 23 years now. And I've been into various roles as in project management, people management, product management, and I've also been associated with the learning and development teams for almost around 20 years now in various capacities. And I've also had the good fortune of being a part of various research and development teams in these 23 years. And it's a pleasure that today I am able to share the mix of learnings that I've been able to gather in these 23 years with the students. And it gives great satisfaction to see how, in a very small way, we can help students take a very confident step towards their bright futures. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us today and allowing us to share a glimpse of what we do in the internship program here at Clevered. So the stars, the people who make up the team at Clevered, the internship team at Clevered, it begins with Miss Money. She is the lead mentor for basic internship program. This is myself. I head the academics and I also head the internship team at Clevered. It's Miss Kritika. She is our senior mentor with the advanced internship team. This is our support team head. This is Miss Nandini. And Ms. Shivani, she leads the advanced internship at Clevered. The mechanics, so what all goes into the internship program. So these are the course offerings that we have. We have the basic artificial intelligence internship and crash course. So, and then there is advanced artificial intelligence internship and crash course, and there is a specialized 2-week internship for advanced AI. And why we are using the terms basic and advanced here, it's primarily to help people. One, we are trying to really believe in and sell this idea of that anyone can code. Yeah. And we have students, the spectrum of age varies from, we have students as young as 7 years joining us for these internships, and they have taken the certificates, the wonderful internship certificates from us. They graduated beautifully. You can see their YouTube videos and wonderful projects on GitHub. And we have students as old as maybe 23, 24 years joining us. So it's a wide spectrum of age that we're trying to cater to, and therefore we're trying to make sure that we're able to give people this confidence that and satisfaction that anybody can code, yeah, and everybody can code. So therefore, we have a basic artificial intelligence internship and crash course, and this is to give students a confidence and knowledge of coding concepts. And this is like to help them start with the basic building blocks, and and at the same time create something which is of use, yeah, for for the world today. So they also learn various artificial intelligence concepts, and they just don't learn those concepts. With each concept that they learn, they make a project also. And we have hands-on assignments, class assignments, and we want to give children the confidence that they can do it. It is not just in the teacher's presence that they can do things. Therefore, everything is complemented with appropriate home assignments, which we then walk through along with the students in the next class. So it's a package deal to make sure that students are enjoying, they're learning, and also becoming confident in what they're doing. So this is the basic artificial intelligence internship and crash course. The crash course comprises of 5 sessions. So it's a we can position the sessions as per the convenience and availability of the students. And it's like a rigorous 5 sessions, and they go anywhere between 60 to 90 minutes. And they help students. So we discuss various intelligent agents in these classes. We discuss speech recognition, speech synthesis. We discuss sentiment analysis and image recognition. And we also help students not just learn these concepts, make projects, and also prepare presentations to share what they have learned and create videos to share their projects with the wider world outside. I'll cover more of this as we go forward. And so this is basically on block coding platforms. And so this is where we don't, introduce the pressure of, this is where students can learn enjoyably. Yeah, so they don't have to worry about learning the text. Yeah, so they can, it's like plug and play. They can easily use various blocks of code and create wonderful projects. And so one is the crash course, is 5 sessions, and then another is we have the internship, which is a 3-month long internship. And in this again, students have the opportunity to now create projects, and what we are offering them throughout the internship. I'll be covering that. So that's the basic AI internship there, and it is again using block coding platforms. And the next is the advanced artificial intelligence internship and crash course. And again, the crash course is a series of 5 sessions, and then we have the internship, which is a 3-month long process. And again, in this, the endeavor is that We want to give people the confidence that anybody can learn Python, and therefore for now we are offering this internship using the Python platform, and we have mentors. The lead mentor, Miss Shivani, she has a hands-on experience of having worked on almost around 100 Python projects, and she is the one who really takes the lead in mentoring the students in this internship. And again, it follows the same pattern as I just shared in the basic. So a series of 5 sessions for the crash course, which will help students get the confidence of artificial intelligence concepts and also how they can use it to create projects. And the next one is the internship, the 3 month long internship that we have, in which they can create a little more complex projects, which can be a combination of multiple intelligent agents. And all of this happens, so it's like the potter, how the potter will give the shape to the pots. So that's applying a little bit of pressure. And so that's where we have the the guidelines and the structure and the framework in place to give the shape, to give people the confidence and the skills. And we provide them the appropriate support also in terms of mentorship sessions that we have on a weekly basis. And we also have wonderful sessions from time to time with Mr. Ken. And I'll cover more of this as I come to the milestones. The next is Advanced Artificial Intelligence 2 week internship, and this is a specialized one-on-one session with the students. And these are students who cannot perhaps maybe join us for 3 month long internships, and therefore this is a specialized program for them. And this is where we are offering them one-on-one mentoring. And also, in these sessions, we have prepared wonderful guided projects for students to be able to work on their projects, create wonderful projects, learn Python, master the concepts, and then again also feel confident about it. And so far, we've been able to, in the past 6 months, where we launched this new framework. Of course, internship has been going on for almost around 2 years now. But then, with the new framework that we started, we've almost already completed 3 batches of basic artificial intelligence internship and 2 batches of advanced artificial intelligence internship, and we've also completed 3 batches of advanced artificial intelligence crash course. And we've had more than 60 graduates so far from these courses. Again, the age group is a wide spectrum, going in from age 7 to 23 to 24 years. And these are the milestones. So what does the internship journey look like? So we begin with an orientation session wherein we will brief the students about what is this internship all about, what will happen during the internship, what is the schedule like. And we, as I'm sharing with you today, we give them all information, in terms of the framework, in terms of the support they're going to receive from us. And in the orientation session, because we have a lot to do in 3 months, we make efficient use of time, and we begin. What we do in this session is we also help students, have a warm up on the block coding or the Python, as is the case. If it is a basic artificial intelligence internship, then of course we're talking about block coding there, and if it is advanced, we're talking about Python. This followed by, this is where we begin the warm up session, and then we have focused warm up sessions. Each warm up session, as I said, we just don't give them hands on class assignments, we give them the confidence that they can do it themselves also. So, therefore, we have the home assignments coming along with all of this. So, each warm up session is followed up with home assignments, and these have been carefully designed to give people a glimpse of the kind of projects that are about to come their way. And then, of course, we don't want students to, just be thinking how to move forward. So we have a quiz in place, we have an assessment in place wherein we assess students before assigning or before they choose their projects. So of course the students choose their projects, yeah, but then we do conduct an assessment to make sure we have an understanding of the kind of support students will need to be able to complete their project. So therefore what we do is uh, we uh, have what do you say, we have the framework in place wherein the students will get assessed and then they will choose their projects. Also what happens is, as the students choose their projects, what also happens is they will say they might be as we conducted the assignment, we might identify certain topics where they need help. So that's where we pull out the tutorials from our courses that we have available, from our course offerings for junior data scientist and the young coders program, and we make these tutorials available to the students, and these are complimentary, they come free of cost, and they are made available to students such that they can do hands-on practice on these concepts. So again, going with our mantra, anybody and everybody can code. So with that, that's where we take it forward from there, and the students can practice these skills, develop confidence, and then armed with these skills, they go on to work on their project. So internship is not just making the project, they also develop the required skills to make those projects, and they develop the required confidence to be able to do those projects happily. And then we have, once we have all our ammunition ready, we have the introduction session with Mr. Ken, who's senior researcher, Oxford University. And this is a session where the students, they get quizzed by Mr. Ken, and they are given guidance by Mr. Ken. And this is a wonderful interaction for students where they can, these questions and the guidance that Mr. Ken is giving is coming from his experience in this field. And this is also a way for, students to think, it's food for thought for students as well. So it's a wonderful session that we have with Mr. Ken. And then we have the, this is the start, this is the introduction session. And after here, again, we might say that, okay, this is just meeting Mr. Ken. It's not just that. This is where this is an internship. We are saying it's an internship. So we're trying to also help people get students get a glimpse of the professional world outside. So this is where we help them prepare introduction presentations. So they create introduction presentations, and now this is a very important skill to have in today's date, to be able to put your thoughts into words, yeah, put your ideas into words and communicate the same. So this is where we are helping them learn, develop the art of communication. And we have formats in place that we share with students, and we do review their presentations before they are shared with Mr. Ken in this introduction session. And that's the one-on-one mentorship that I'm talking about. And so we the mentors are available. They are available for a one-on-one mentorship support to all students, and we have a turnaround time of 24 hours, so students can reach the mentors directly on emails and by emails. So this is, again, as I said, internship. So this is our way of also helping students learn the art of email communication. And this is where they communicate their questions to the teachers. And the hidden agenda there for us is also, we want students to have a record of their questions and the answers, or the links they received from mentors as the answers. So they have this record to refer to go back to once the internship is over as well. So that's how closely the students can work with the mentors, and they do work with the mentors. And now we just don't want the students to, okay, come create a project and leave. So therefore we have webinars with industry experts. So they're not just going the clever way of doing things, or the industry way of doing, the methodologies, but they are also seeing, getting a glimpse of what's happening in the industry today. And for that, we have webinars, and these are again complimentary webinars each month with the industry leaders. And these are interactive webinars where the students can interact with the industry leaders, ask questions. In fact, we received wonderful feedback from parents. I distinctly remember quantum computing, and that's where the parents said that they also learned a lot from that particular webinar. So these are the webinars that we have, and one every month. And we want to work as a team. So the people who are really the support behind the students to be able to do these internship, the parents. So we definitely take time to listen and hear the parents, and to understand if their expectations have been met, and what more can we do to really meet their expectations. And for that, we have the parents teachers meetings organized at a specific time, such that the parents can also come and share their thoughts. And now with all this, we're talking about the internship, and we've spoken about, okay, students getting a glimpse of communication, and they are supported. And once the project is ready, we also want the students to launch it to the outside world. So that's where the social media launch of the project comes in. And if we were to look at here, I'll speak a little bit about the tools that we have in place. So these are the tools that we have in place here. This is our internship toolbox in a way. So we supported with various toolkits. Yeah. So it's the app development toolkit, and we have the documentation toolkit and the social media toolkit. Now, we're talking about students, this is an internship. So what we are doing is we're helping students develop the skills that make them future ready, that can help them become a part of the industry today. So okay, I'm not able to place this. Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. So this is where we have to make sure that, okay, the students are learning what is the way of doing work in the industry today. So we, therefore, what we did is, we created toolkits. Yeah. So now these are the tools that are available to the students to create their project. So as I said, we just don't want them to create a project. Yeah. We want them to, develop the skills that make them future ready. Yeah. The industry ready. It's an internship. So therefore, we came up with an app development toolkit. So this toolkit is inspired by the software development lifecycle, the waterfall model. And in my tenure of 23 years in the software industry, I've had exposure to almost around 150 to 200 live implementations across various domains. I've had the exposure of working in enterprise resource planning packages, the manufacturing and the non-manufacturing suite. And then I've also had the exposure of implementing the 401k retirement plans for various American clients. And so all these, implementations and projects, one thing which I could see was common was us using software development lifecycle. And the most commonly used model is waterfall. The most basic model is waterfall. And without it becoming heavy for the students, we didn't want it to sound very theoretical for the students. We wanted students to, of course, know that this is what exists in the industry, is used in the industry. At the same time, we wanted them to use it. So therefore, we created toolkits. So now these toolkits are, it's an Excel workbook that we've created, and the students, they before they create the project, or before they get into the actual coding, they create the design of the project. So they document, okay, these are the requirements, these are the screens, how they will look like of the project, then this is how the functionality will be added to the project, and then they also create their test plans for the project. So So this might seem like just an Excel workbook. Okay, we've created an Excel workbook, but if one were to really look at the subtle coaching that we are giving in this is, one, the students become aware of software development life cycle, something that it exists, it is used, the waterfall model. Second, the students learn how to use it, how to put it into use to create software projects. So they're not just learning Python, they're learning the mechanics behind software development also. Then they can speak about this as they go into the professional world. Most importantly, they can use it. They are now armed with tools that can help them use it. And then the another subtle coaching that we are doing in this is we are warming them up to the various roles that exist in the software industry today. Like as I moved from one role to another, I was amazed to see the kind of the beautiful spectrum of roles that was available to us in the software industry, and is still available to us in the software industry. So and it was very wonderful that I always had a goal. Okay, now I want to do this, now I want to do this. So but then if I had that goal, it was because I had that awareness. Yeah, so that is where we are trying to also create an awareness in students that these various steps of the waterfall software development life cycle, they also translate into various roles in the software industry. So for example, requirements, there is if you talk about projects, the requirements is a completely, it's a control account in itself, it's a different team in itself, and there are various roles. And then so there is a person who will interact with the customer, and there is a person who will document the requirement. So plus there are many more roles there. So this is one team that they get aware of. Then they also become aware of the team that creates the designs, and today it's a separate course in itself, the UX UI design. Then we have the event handlers. So functional consultant is another role in the software industry today. Then there is a QA role in the software industry today, and that's where the test planning comes in, which the students do. So all of this the students are doing, they're learning about, and at the same time they are learning it the fun way without it being too heavy for them. And also they are, again, as I said, they're not just developing the skills, they're developing the confidence that they can do it too. And all of this students create on their own. We don't create it for them. Everything students create on their own, but we are there with them. The potter's example. So we uh, give them the framework, so we give them the shape, but then we are also giving them the support. Now with this, now that they have the design in place, then they go on to create the project with this design in place. They know what they are making, they know the requirements, they know the design, screen design, they know the functionality, and they know what should be there. So they know what they're going to test for. They create the project, test the project. Now when the project is ready, now we want we don't want them to just know how to create the project. We want them to be able to communicate. So therefore, we've created a documentation toolkit. And herein, again, it's a crystallization of so many years of the experience that we are carrying. And also, at the same time, if we kind of look at any gadget that we receive today, we of course want to look at the user manual. No, we want to see that, okay, how can I use it? So therefore, we have the documentation toolkit wherein the students say, okay, this is my project and this is how you can use it. Yeah, so therefore we have the documentation toolkit, which is the application user manual. And again, crystallization of so many years of experience. So we have made a beautiful format. It's a beautiful format in place, and it's a starting point. Again, subtle coaching. So students get the joy of creating it for their projects. At the same time, in a very subtle way, they're learning that this is an important part of software project development. The next that they now that they have the design in place, the project in place, the user manuals, all ammunition is now ready that we can take it to the outside world. So one guideline we give to the students is whatever you are creating, it should be of use for society. Someone should be able to use it. So for example, one of the calculators that we've created, the students have created. It's a very simple example that it can speak to you. So it can say that, okay, what you want me to do, and we can say, okay, please add 23 and 54 for me, or please subtract 23 from 54 for me, and it will say, okay, the sum is this and the difference is this. So this is where, if one were to look at it, it's a very simple, it's a toy calculator kind of a thing. However, if we kind of look at it, this is a small beginning. This can help the blind people, yeah, perform calculations easily. So this is where, we are helping them understand how whatever they are creating can also help people in society. Yeah, so like one of the students, and she created the virtual desktop virtual assistant. So anybody who doesn't even know anything about the computers, someone doesn't know how to send emails, so he can just go and say to the virtual assistant, please send an email for me. Yeah, so this is where students are learning not just to create the project but connect it to the social causes, to to the world outside. And therefore, now that they have done such an awesome job, we help them launch their projects on social media. So the projects go onto GitHub, they go to the YouTube, and also to the LinkedIn, the professional networking site. Now, again, one may say that, okay, it's a social media launch, but again, we never forget the mantra that we begin with. This is an internship. We're trying to make people ready, students ready for the future, to the world, for the future world outside. So, therefore, this is in a very subtle way coaching for students of various platforms that exist today. Yeah. So, various platforms that exist today, like GitHub and LinkedIn. So this is also a very subtle coaching for students to understand, okay, these are the things that are used in the software world today. Yeah. And so this is the tool. This is one of the tools that we use. These are some of the tools rather that we use. Toolkits. They are app development toolkit, social media, and the documentation toolkit. Now, I spoke about the potters example again. So we are giving them the framework. So this is the mold, but there's a support too. So again, we have a very carefully designed, clever recognition rainbow. So this is a set of 7 parameters where we recognize student, behaviors. Now, I'll speak of more of this in the next slide. However, at the same time, I'll just, at the outset, I'll state that we are not just creating students, or we're not just developing students who have aptitude, but with aptitude, attitude is also very important in today's world. So therefore, and I've had the exposure to working with various teams, both in India and abroad. And the one thing which I've seen really works is our attitude. That is something which really is key. It's very, very important. And therefore, what we are doing is we have these 7 parameters with us, and uh, we appreciate students on these 7 parameters. Yeah. So I'll give you an example. So, for example, in today's professional world, it's very important to to be able to deliver things on time. Very, very important to meet your deadline. So therefore, we have a recognition for timely delivery. Then we also have a recognition for teamwork. Yeah. So how well are you working with your mentors, your cohort, your batch that you are there in, to be able to create your project. So these are wonderful recognitions that we have in place, and I'll speak more of this in the next slide. So this is the clever recognition rainbow, and then we have, as I spoke about this, the one-on-one mentorship. It's a weekly session that students have with our lead mentors, and I'm there in all these sessions. So the one-on-one weekly mentorship that happens with the students, and then this is a platform where the students can ask questions, and they can share. We review the material they've created. And this is also a way that students learn from each other. They learn from each other's questions also. And then we have reviews placed at proper intervals. So there's a midterm review, And by the midterm review, we are expecting students to complete their project and the documentation toolkit, post which we work with them to launch it on the social media. And we also have the final presentation and graduation ceremony with Mr. Ken. We start with the introduction session, then we have the final presentation graduation ceremony with Mr. Ken, senior researcher, Oxford University. And this, what happens is, in this case, that this particular graduation ceremony is one might say, okay, we're concluding the internship, it's a happy conclusion. No, the effort is to make it a beginning, make this graduation ceremony a beginning, because from here, as they interact with Mr. Ken, the effort is to also give them a way forward on their projects. Now, what more can they do? So this is where we come to the graduation ceremony of the internship. And in the graduation ceremony, the students receive a progress report, which highlights the recognitions, it highlights the project student has created, and it also highlights what more the student can do as next steps to continue this journey. And we also have a certificate duly signed by Mr. Ken. Now with this is the clever recognition rainbow, yeah, and these are the 7 colors of performance that we are trying to really appreciate. So one is attentiveness, efforts for project completion. So if you see, these are all behaviors that we are trying to really appreciate. Attentiveness in the class, efforts for project completion, appropriate usage of resources, timely delivery, positive attitude, teamwork, and presentation skills. Now, this might seem theory, but then the hidden effort or endeavor here is this is again an internship. We want students to be ready for the future. So, this is where we are making an effort to also give them subtle coaching on what is the attitude with which one can create a wonderful mark in the world today. So this is where we are coaching them on these few behaviors. Of course, there are many more, but these are few to start with. And the idea is to help students develop, also recognize these behaviors that they might already have, and to strengthen those as they go along, developing themselves for the world outside. And I've had wonderful experience with these, recognitions. I remember one student, one session was going really, we were not able to hear questions from students, and we were a little worried. Are they really understanding things? We want children to go back happy, with a sense of achievement from every session. So what we did is, there was one student who very nicely asked a very small question, and we appreciated that student, and we issued a badge to that student on attentiveness. And yeah, this was so encouraging. It broke the ice, and as if they were just waiting for some, there was some hesitation maybe that was stopping students, and we had so many questions coming in from students after that. We ended up giving badges almost to everyone in that session. So, so this is where these play a very important role in a subtle coaching that we can give to students on, not just aptitude, that not just aptitude matters, but attitude also matters. Yeah. So attentiveness, where so when we sit in the professional world in various connects in various meetings, yeah. So attentiveness very important. Efforts for project completion. So it should not be that, so sometimes in the professional world also we might not be successful with things that we are working on, but then people do see that, okay, they're really making that effort. Yeah, so therefore this is what we are celebrating there. And also presentation skills, I would like to really speak about that. It we tell students it is, of course, just presentation skills. One might think, okay, just presenting, but the idea we put it, the reason we put it there is how students can learn. So today time is luxury. Yeah, time is money. Time, people have very little time, so nobody wants to hear a lot. Yeah, so except for in infoshares like this where we need a lot of information, but then when I am presenting my ideas to the outside world, I have to be quick, so I have to say a lot in less words. And therefore this is not just presenting how good are you at speaking, but how good are you at articulating your point, presenting your point, and therefore, so the presentation skills also talks about, we're trying to coach. It's a subtle coaching as to how can you put a lot in less words. Then how can you, of course, go ahead and communicate it? How can you capture audience attention? And another thing that we are looking at there is how good are you at listening to others when they are presenting? Yeah, so this is where we're talking about presentation skills, and these are the badges that we introduce to the students. These are the Rockstar badges, and these are to appreciate, instances of wonderful behavior that we see throughout the internship. So every instance we see a behavior, here comes the badge. So there's a Rockstar badge, and if you see, it's symbolic of a silver medal that we give to the students. And this is the champion badge, symbolic of a gold medal that we're giving to the student. And this is for behaviors observed consistently. So like this student was there in all the mentorship sessions, and I really applaud his efforts because he was there in all the mentorship sessions, very nicely asking questions, very attentive. And with that, and of course, I don't mean that, okay, the student should make the project on their own. No, he had wonderful questions, wonderful interaction with the mentors, and then he was able to come up with a beautiful project. And his video is also there on YouTube. In fact, all our students' videos are there on YouTube. So this student was really struggling for time, and then how, finally the student came up and still completed the race, really worked hard to complete the project and complete internship with us. So that's what we would like really appreciate and recognize. And this is a subtle coaching as to, okay, this is what is required, and maybe you already have it, so please celebrate. Yeah, so this is these 7 colors of performance, the clever recognition rainbow. These are the creations, the students, app development toolkit workbook, user manual, LinkedIn pages, GitHub repository. And I've opened one in the interest of time. Okay. Sorry, it's taking a little time. Just allow me a moment, please. Okay, so this is one of our students' LinkedIn post here, if everybody can see this. And and if you see, this also carries the video, the YouTube video of the student. And this is what we help all students.
Hello, my name is Tisha. Welcome to my project Capable. And
so this is where all the students, they can create their own projects also. And these are the YouTube videos that we launch, and see, it's getting posted on LinkedIn also. And this is there for all students. And there are some students, and this is the app user manual that she created. And this is also there on her GitHub account. So it's also available on her GitHub account. So one thing to note here is that how they have learned the existence of these sites, they've used these sites, they've put their creativity, they've expressed their creativity. And also, also another point here to really note is that some students, so this is also where we are also coaching them, that some students, we have this condition that on GitHub and LinkedIn, you can create an account only if you're 16 years and above. So we're trying to partner with parents in cases where children are below 16 years. In case parents have the LinkedIn accounts, we use those, or else these posts, they go on the Clevered LinkedIn page. But then we are making sure that the students are visible to the world outside. And most importantly, the students are able to reach the world outside with their creations and help people use what they have created. So moving back to the presentation. So these are the creations for the students that the students have created. And just a second, I'm juggling between various windows here. Okay. Okay, sorry. So this is the app development toolkit, and now these are the various thank yous that we have received, the trust that we've been able to win, with our clients, and therefore, quickly I'll move over there. So this is what our
Very well, ma'am. Thank you so much. How are you, ma'am? I'm good, thank you. I'm Dr. Rashmi and Shreya's mother. First of all, I'm very thankful for being favored for your mentorship that you provided all throughout this internship journey. And this is the first time actually I am involved in project development and documentation. Prior to this internship, she was involved in a couple of basic coding courses, and the engagement that we experienced during this internship was exceptional. I believe that there was a good exposure to the project development and documentation and presentation, especially during the last sessions. And team is also very supportive, focus on project development, submission, and I really appreciate the engagement that.
So this is just a glimpse of what the parents are talking about, and the trust we've been able to win of the various parents. These are recognitions that we've received, appreciations we've received from students and from parents. And they really appreciate the effort that we've been able to put in. And so all of this is then resulting in the grand finale, the final kind of milestone in this journey. And these are glimpses of our sessions with Mr. Ken. So this is one of the graduation ceremonies for the basic internship. So the advanced internship, this was one of the initial ones that we had with Mr. Ken. And if you can see, children are going back happily. So many students participating in every session and receiving their graduation certificates. And this is what they're receiving. I've used a sample here, I've put a sample here for people to see. One of our very wonderful students, Aisha, her progress report here. And this is what she received, and her badges were mentioned, the project she created, Adventure Venture, very beautifully designed and developed by her. So this is the progress report that we issue to the students. And this is, there is a certificate for various reasons. I can't enclose a copy here, but then duly signed by Mr. Ken. And what is the way forward for the internship? Going forward, we are going to introduce professional internship certified by some of the leading organizations around the world, and shareable digital certificates and badges. So the badges you saw, they're very soon going to be shareable on the social media across 50 or more platforms for students to be able to also showcase their talent to the world outside. So with that, I'll close my talk here, and any questions people have, I would be happy to answer. Yes, any questions if you have? Thank you, Divya. Thank you for joining, child. Okay, so I gather there are no questions. I hope all of you were able to take back something from this session. And if there is anything more that you want us to really help you with, Ms. Shiksha has already given her contact details in the chat. And I'm very grateful to all of you for joining us today. So thank you so much, all of you. And hope to hear from you soon. Over to you, Ms. Shiksha.
Thank you, everyone, for joining this session. I hope it was quite informative for all of you.
And in case you do have any queries or concern, you can connect with me. I have shared the email address as well as the contact number on the chat, and you can get in touch with me anytime, and I'll be more than happy to help you out further. Thank you, Ms. Smita. Thank you for your time. And thank you everyone for being the part of this webinar.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.